Finding a logarithm to base 10 is a very common calculation that we need to perform. Logs to base 10 can be written in different ways, and I've given 3 examples. In the first example, we see log with the subscript 10 of 100 is equal to 2. You may or may not see this subscript though. Sometimes it would just be written as log of 100, as in the second example here, which is equal to 2. So we'll make the assumption that if we see it written like this, it means log to the base 10. And in fact, I'll use that in my examples on the next slide in just a minute. It is a bit ambiguous, but we've kind of disambiguated by stating exactly how we're going to use it. But depending on which discipline you're working in computer science, they often use log of 100 or similar to mean log to the base 2, because they're often working in binary. Of course, as we said, it can also mean log to the base 10, which is how we've defined how we're going to use it in the examples on the next slide. It can also mean the natural logarithm. That's more common in the engineering disciplines, though, to interpret log of 100 as meaning the natural logarithm of 100. Usually log to the base e would be written as ln, and it's more common to see it written this way nowadays. So you would see that as ln 100 rather than log to the base e of 100. Lastly, in the third example, you might see it written as lg 100 is equal to 2. But in general, we won't use that. We'll most often we'll use, as I said, this example here, log of 100 log to mean log to the base 10, because that's how you'll see it as the button on the calculator. Log will give you log to the base 10 on the calculator. Alright, let's have a look at some examples of this then. With powers of 10, it's easy to write down log to the base 10. So, for example, in the first problem, log of 10,000, we know that 10,000 is 10 to the power of 4. So log of 10,000 is just going to equal 4. In the second case, we've got log of 0.0001, but we know that 0.0001 is equal to 1 over 10,000, which is 10 to the power of minus 4. So we can write log of 0.0001 is equal to minus 4. Mostly though, when we want to find logs of base 10, we need to get the calculator out to find the logarithm. So before we continue with the 4 examples here, let's just have a quick look at how we do this on the calculator. It's useful to have a calculator handy when we're working with logarithms, because we often need to do some calculations. So you should have a calculator something like this, the Casio FX83 GT Plus, or very similar. So to find a log to the base 10, really easy. Let's say we want to find log to the base 10 of 100. Well, we all know what the answer to that is going to be, but we can just demonstrate that so that we can see for ourselves that it's going to give us the right answer. So we press the button that says log just here. So log 100 and then equals, and that will give us the answer to down here. If we want to find something like log of 92.8, we can do that as well, and obviously we'll get a decimal answer. Usually when you're working with the calculator and you're asked to write down the answer, it's good practice to write the answer to 2 decimal places unless you're told otherwise. So as you can see, fairly straightforward then to use the log function on your calculator. You'll see next to the log, and just to emphasize that log is always in base 10, you'll see the ln button, which is the natural logarithm, and we'll be looking at that in the next lecture. Okay, let's get back to the slides then. Okay, so now you all know how to find the log to base 10 of any number on the calculator. We'll start with log of 11. Let's take that as our first example. So we'll just tap that in on the calculator. Log 11 equals 1.04, correct to 2 decimal places. We'll write all of these answers down to 2 decimal places. If we try log to the base 10 of 9, we'll get 0.95. So the log of any number which is less than 10 is going to give us a value which is less than 1. So as soon as we have a number that's 10 or more, obviously log to the base 10 of 10 is going to be 1. A number greater than 10 will give us a logarithm that's greater than 1. So it's a nice little check. If you find the log to base 10 of a number less than 10, you should be getting an answer which is less than 1. The log to the base 10 of 1, well, you should all know that's going to be 0, because 10 to the power of 0 is 1. If we had log to the base 10 of a number which is less than 1, but obviously greater than 0, then we would expect to get a negative answer. So let's just tap this in on the calculator. Log of 0.5 is equal to minus 0.30 to 2 decimal places. Okay, now have a go at the multiple choice question.